Hello everyone, Lloyd from Bizzfo. This short tutorial, I'm just quickly going to run over some screen changes we made on the manufacturing side. So to get going really quickly, I'm going to show you a cheat that I do when I test. I go to Systems, I go to Import and Export. I select the branch, and then what I do is I go on Stock Import Simple. I do Get Template. Then what I do is I go to Manufacture and I say Get Template. Both of these files I can find in my downloads folder and I import them back into the system. The reason I do that is then I already have my formula set up and I can just simply get going. So let's have a look. So on the manufacturing side, a lot of the labels have been changed to uh, highlight the concept of building a formula versus working with a batch. And let me show you what that means. So when I do chocolate cupcakes, I have a formula template that I set up. So if this formula is produced in one batch, I will have a yield of 24. All right, so this is not yet my batch, but it is the formula I need for 24. So you have to decide beforehand the formula you set up with regards to the quantity you're going to produce. Now, once I've got this selected, I'm going to click on my manufacturer. On the manufacturing side, on the right-hand side, you'll see we introduced the batch to simplify the process a little bit. And then also the wording has changed slightly. So this is quite an important one. So cupcakes is a per unit item. So what that means is if I disable this function, I will still create 24, but the individual cost will be 17 for the 24. And it'll actually set this to 17 as the cost for the item, but that is not what I want. I want to have, I want the formula cost to reflect and be divided into the units so I can get a true reflection of what the cost is. Then if I want to produce a batch, I could just go and double the batch, and then I will produce 48 of them, obviously still with the same cost, but just double up on the batch. So if you do this at 10, you can see you doubling up. Okay, so let me manufacture this one. Great. So I've got, you can see the cost is 35, and these are just my standard totals. And let's do another one. So I'm going to manufacture, let's do bread dough. So you'll notice bread dough is a per kilogram item. If I wanted to change this, let's say there's some losses, I could change it to 8. Um, what's flour and some water, yeah. So we could have some losses within that. So let me go to manufacture. On the manufacturing side, you notice I'll still be taking 6 and 4 out if I do 1, but once I double it up, I want to produce 16. It will go to 12 and 8, and I can simply produce that, and then I will put 16 back into stock. All right, so some other changes we made. The production run essentially is still the same, just some wording have changed. You'll notice on the cupcakes, maybe not a good example. Let me just remove this one. Bread dough. Okay, on the bread dough side, it will pick up that it's not per unit, it's per kilogram. Batch to produce is 1. If you wanted to produce 2, you can simply do that, and then you can complete your formula. All right, good. And then just obviously a quick recap. If you're sitting over here and you want to create a new formula, you can do and say cupcakes 2, and essentially let me just select it, cupcakes 2. I need to select the item to produce, cupcakes. I'm just going to say take the same one for simplicity's sake. I can click on the add, and again I can go to cocoa powder, add that one, and I can select the flour again. There we go. Flour. If I wanted to change these quantities, I can change them over here, and I can change this one back to 0.5. Once ready, click on my manufacturer, and the process can repeat itself. Good. Guys, so that's just a quick overview of manufacturing, what it looks like, and quite easy, simple to get going. If you need any help or got some questions, please feel free to reach out to our online help or the team, and they will be glad to assist.